Now, this illustration deals with capacity requirements. When I was the chief electrical inspector for the city of Fort Worth, there was quite a few times that this type of additional service was requested. Now, notice we may have 12208 feeding this facility, and due to it being almost impossible to add power to the existing service, a second service would be provided. But notice there is a requirement here before you could perform this type of design. Notice at the very top of the facility, 2 or more services for over 2,000 amps at 600 volts or less or 1,000 volts or less shall be permitted to be installed in the same occupancy. But notice there is a service requirement in amps here for this to be permissible. But notice that 230.2 C as in car 1 and 2 would allow this. Now again, the service equipment has to be grouped. So we suggest that you review 3 sections: 230.40 exception 2, 230.70A that deals with the service equipment, and 230.71A that allows 2 to 6 mains at each service location. That's been some changes there. In other words, the 230, which we'll get into, but 230.71 and 72 dealing with B4, well, it's really B1 through B4 in 230.71, I believe it is. Notice you cannot have 6 individual mains in a panel board. For example, look at the 2 panels there. We have the existing, say, overhead panel served there, but we're going to add a second one to the right. We would have to have a main. We couldn't put 6 individual mains in that panel board as we did in the 2017 code. In 408.36, that exception, I believe it was 2, has been dropped. So you designers keep this in mind. But I could have 6 individual panels, like 3 switches and 3 panel boards with a main in each. That would give me 2 to 6. That would be okay, but be sure you review very carefully 230.70, 230.71, and 230.72 before you ever attempt to design this second service or install it. Together, along with the authority having jurisdiction, then maybe there will be no mistakes made, and the work we have done have to be redone. So keep this in mind as we review this figure 6-5 that deals more than one service in addition to the normal service when capacity requirements become the issue in accordance with NEC 230.2 C1 and C2 as in car.